This is level 3 from a Fresh Approach Daily Drills. In this video lesson, I'm going to cover the snare drum exercises. You should have done levels 1 and 2. That kind of goes without saying as we do these exercises. You could jump to a higher level, but make sure that you really are focused on getting the right techniques in each level that I introduce to you. So this first 4 lines of this are just our rebound sticking exercises that we've done before, but now we're using eighth notes, so we're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now our double strokes are about the speed that we were playing double strokes in our double stroke exercises. But now notice in that first line, double, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So doubles for measure, fours for measure. So you might want to practice that slowly first. And just repeat it over and over a bunch of times until you can feel really comfortable with that. Playing it along with a play-along track or with a metronome, just making sure that all of those things we've talked about in the other 2 levels are consistent here. Okay, big strokes, I'm still using full strokes. I'm still using quite a bit of velocity, which is my speed, and force into the practice pad or the drum, because I really want to get that full motion. So I'm training my muscles, but also making sure I'm hitting in the center, making sure that my right hand and my left hand are even. In line number 2, it is 2 doubles and a group of 4. 2 doubles and a group of 4. So it kind of turns around. If you want to think of it as a big paradiddle. All right, you can slow it way down. All right, that's important too. But we want to start feeling like our left hand is just as strong as our right hand. So this is the first time that it kind of pulls that left hand onto the downbeat, onto the primary beats. Line number 3 utilizes our triple stroke. So we're going to have singles, doubles, triples, fours, and then anything after that is just more of the same. So our triple stroke, right, is pretty simple to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But again, we want to listen to the sound of all 3 of those notes being the same. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want a diminuendo. I want every stroke to be big and full. And then when you get to the second half, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, left, 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 right, left, left, left. So if you will always think about the stick that is not playing the triple stroke coming all the way back up, that is going to help being able to equal the sound and the velocity and force that we're using on all the strokes. So practicing that a bunch of times. And getting that transition between the right hand group of 3 and then the left hand group of 3. That may be a thing that if you're not really concentrating on, you'll mess up on. So practicing that a few times, especially that measures 2 to 3, getting that transition. All right, line number 4 is really the same thing, but I moved the single to the count 2 and 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then it works the same way, but left hand starts, 2 and 4 is on the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, again, the transition between the 2 may be the thing that kind of messes you up. So practice out a few times. Right, right, left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right, left, left, right, left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left, right, right, left. So practicing the transition between the two different stickings really is a mental thing more than it is a physical thing or a technique thing on the pad, all right? So make sure that you're concentrating enough that you can get through lines number 3 and 4, especially without making mistakes. If you make mistakes, just stop a video, go all the way back to the beginning and try it again. Okay, some of this is getting your concentration level higher as we're moving through these 4 minutes. You have to be able to concentrate for 4 minutes. Line number 5 and 6 works on our paradiddle rudiments. So line number 5 is just the paradiddle sticking. So if we can think of paradiddle, 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 left, right, paradiddle. So if you can say those paradiddles to yourself, then you'll be able to play those stickings, all right? Making sure, again, the same way with all of the exercises, that your sticks come all the way back up, that we're using a full stroke, and that you're listening to the sound. All right, after you get used to playing paradiddles and you play enough paradiddles, you can get faster and faster. Playing paradiddles really fast without really even thinking about it. My hands just know what to do when I'm playing paradiddles because I've played paradiddles so long. Line number 6 is a new paradiddle rudiment called the double paradiddle. So it's a paradiddle, which is 4 strokes, paradiddle, but I'm adding 2 strokes to the beginning, double paradiddle. The only thing is the double, when I say double paradiddle, the double is not 2 of the same hand, all right? So paradiddle, paradiddle. You can think that way, or you can think of double paradiddle. Or 1, 2, 3, 4 diddle. I like to say double paradiddle because that's the name of the rudiment. So starting on the right hand, just practicing your double paradiddle a bunch of times until you get very used to the sticking. Double paradiddle, double paradiddle. And then the same thing on the left hand. Double paradiddle, double paradiddle. And then back to back. Double paradiddle, double paradiddle. And then we have our quarter notes on count 3 and 4. Notice with this line, the beam of my 8th notes extends over the bar line. And this is something that you'll see a lot of times in snare drum rudiments, rudimental etudes and snare drum parts, because we're really trying to group the sticking together. So the rhythm is just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. But the sticking is what's important, and that's why the 6 notes are beamed together, 6 notes beamed together. So as you're playing that and practicing it, say to yourself, double paradiddle, double paradiddle, double paradiddle, double paradiddle. And then I added 2 extra strokes just to round it out. All right, so line number 5, working on all your paradiddles. Line number 6, your double paradiddles. Line number 7, we're going back to our multiple bounces. So with the multiple bounce here, we started off in level 1 with half note bounces, getting that really long multiple bounce on both hands separately. And then level number 2, we had quarter note bounces. Here we're going to do 8th note bounces. So if we're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, our first line, or the first 2 measures, is our right hand. So we're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So our right hand needs to be able to play pretty quick multiple bounces. Then all you do after you've worked that up, all you do is add the left hand in between those right hand bounces. All right, so that might take a second, getting used to throwing the stick, using enough fulcrum pressure to make the stick bounce for that full eighth note. All right, again, I'm using a full stroke, not just, okay, because it's about training your muscles and your firing the neurons to your muscles for the right amount of pressure to make that bounce happen. The harder part is the second half of line number 7, where we're getting eighth note bounces on my left hand. So I would start with just the left hand. All right, it'll be on the upbeat, but I'm still thinking of that time 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's the speed of my bounces. Then I can add my right hand back in, right, left, 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 right. So you can try it at that speed. So you can hear buzz, buzz, 1 buzz, 2 buzz, 3 buzz, 4 buzz on those upbeats. If you need, definitely slow this down to where you can get really used to playing great left-handed bounces, especially where they sound as good as your right. Go even slower. And really work up those left-handed bounces. That's incredibly important as we work through our levels. Eventually we're going to get to the point where we're bouncing 16th notes and we're playing actual multiple bounce rolls, which is another drum rudiment. All right, as you look at line number 8, I would encourage you to really work on line number 7 before you get to line number 8. Basically, it's 4 and 4 for the first 2 measures. So if this is the first time that you're doing this and you're not really good at your multiple bounces, you might just take the first 2 measures and just repeat those over and over a bunch of times. Making sure that left hand is really bouncing the same as my right. And then in the second half is 2 and 2. All right, so going back and forth from 4 and 4 to 2 and 2 is not hard if you're really good at multiple bounces. If you're not, you're going to have some problems with it. So take your time, work through that. And line number 9 and 10 is our reading lines again, but now we're going to eighth note reading. So again, what I'm really working on is not really just reading the rhythms. Reading the rhythms is great, but we're also working through our sticking. Now, in this lesson, what I'm trying to teach you how to do is keep your right hand on every downbeat and only play your left hand on the upbeat. So in the first 2 measures, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. So I'm thinking of my right hand as only playing on every single downbeat and my left hand only playing on the upbeat. Now, this might seem weird for some teachers because they think you should be alternating all the time, and you certainly can do that. You can go right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, left. You could do that, but when you get to measures 3 and 4, to keep the right hand consistently on the downbeat, now I have 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Right hand is on the downbeat, left hand is on the upbeat. A really great trick that I use a lot of times with my students is to put your left hand on your leg, making sure you're tapping your foot, your right hand and your foot, right foot or left foot, whichever you're tapping your foot to, is on every beat, and you're only playing your left hand on your leg in between those beats. So here's that line, what it looks like together. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Notice that right hand has a very consistent rebound stroke, very consistent motion. So I'm not thinking of where to play my right hand. It's just on every single beat. And then when you get to line number 10, the eighth notes move over, but it's still the same thing. Right, right, left, right, 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 left, right, right. Right hand on every downbeat, left hand plays the upbeat. So I really encourage you to play with the sticking that I've written in for you. We will wind up alternating, of course, later on, but I want to get you this downbeat and upbeat relationship between your right and left hand. And then with all the reading lines, really want you tapping your foot. So work through all of this level. Work through each one of the techniques and each one of those before you just play along with the play along tracks, because what you really want to do is in your head know what you're actually listening for and what you're watching for and what you should be doing, so that you're reinforcing the proper techniques, not just playing through the daily drill. Because we're going to get harder and harder as we go through these, and you definitely want to be perfect on this before you go to the next level. So do all of these and then play along with the snare drum part. It's only 4 minutes on a daily basis for at least a week or so, to where you can get those fundamentals down for this level before you move on and play the keyboard part. Learn the keyboard part, because we're doing the same thing with the keyboard, where we're building a foundation so that you'll be a great percussionist overall once you get to the end of all of these levels. Have fun with it, and I'll see you in the keyboard video lesson.